Hi, Elizabeth. How you doing? Okay, so as a professional designer that heads a studio, I get a lot of branding packages. I look at probably 1,000 portfolios a year, if not more, and I get equally as many branding packages. And the one thing I look for time and time and time again in a branding package, the first thing and the most important thing I look for is consistency in branding. And the reason I bring this up is because I think that we have a little bit of issues with consistency. And let me go over this and see if these comments make sense to you. But right now we've got one, two, three, four different presentations of the logo, and they're four different logos. So there's not a lot of consistency here. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, this right here, this is the monogram with the name and the discipline. And then over here, we have a different version of the logo, the monogram, the name and the discipline, but this one is center aligned. Okay, this one over here is left aligned. Okay, so there's the first inconsistency. The second inconsistency, here it is again. This time it's center aligned again. The relationship here is different. See how this is bigger and closer to your name than it is right here? And then also this one, you've got this other strategy, design, and development. Okay, so that's a third variation. And then the fourth variation is right over here with the left aligned. All right, I think this is the best logo. So let's just remove the contact information from the envelope. I'm sorry, the contact information. I would remove that from the logo altogether, and I would just keep that logo separate and place the contact information down here. Now, what I would do with the logo, and I would stick with this as your logo, no variations, is just take this whole configuration right here, Elizabeth Fraser, move it down so it's more centered on the monogram, and that's your logo. You might even consider green as your color for Elizabeth Fraser web design. I think right now the black and green is a little bit jarring, but that it's not a problem. If that's your choice of branding colors, that's fine. But again, I think that if we just take this logo right here, this configuration right here, Elizabeth Fraser web design, move it down a little bit. That's your logo. Place it here, place it here, place it here. Okay. Then, okay, so I think at that point we'll go here. So let's go to the business card. So that would be your configuration, right? You would have your logo, just that same logo with the left align, right? You have that right up here, maybe even a little bit smaller right up here. And then over here somewhere, go ahead and just assemble it. I would say again, since this is going to be left aligned, I would say follow that margin, come down here and just start left aligning your contact information. The business card contact information is your name, your logo, your address, optional for the address, but recommended. Your telephone, email address, web page URL, and then your social media URLs. Okay. Then for the letterhead, that's the business card. So for the letterhead, we would do the same thing. Now you've introduced this rule right here, this horizontal rule, but we don't see that anywhere else. So that's what's called an enigma. We see it here, but over here it's different because it's black and green. Here it's green. I don't recommend using it. I don't. If you're not going to use it consistently on every piece, don't lead it. Don't use it. I don't think we need it. I think the letterhead would be beautiful if we were to take that logo, place it right here. Okay, and then either use the footer area for your contact information or assemble your contact information over here. Again, if you're going to left align it, contact information in the business card, left align it here as well. Okay, so you want we really need extreme consistency here. Now, the elements that belong on a letterhead are your name, your logo. Definitely want that mailing address, your telephone, email address, web URL, and linked information for your social media pages. Okay, so that's our letterhead, our our letterhead and our business card. Let's go to the envelope. Again, envelope, the same thing, just the presentation of your logo. It's a little too close to the top of the envelope. I would bring it down, watch my cursor, something like this. Okay, then you can separate that contact information and just move it below. So in essence, what you could do is keep that left margin right there. Just bring this little space here and in between your logo and your contact and place your contact information right there. Okay, and then the leave behind, same thing. Just get whatever get that consistent presentation of the logo and keep it consistent. Okay, I love this illustration, by the way. Love it. The trifold brochure will work, but I do, again, I want to offer one other little bit of information here, kind of a caveat or a warning, is that you're introducing new colors here in the background and new shapes. Nowhere in your um, Nowhere in your branding package have you introduced these shapes, these triangles, and these different colors, and these really super heavy drop shadows. They're not used anywhere in your other branding pieces, so I hesitate on using them here. Okay, remember, the name of the game here, Elizabeth, the name of the game here is extreme consistency. Okay, I think the background, all of these shapes and these converging shapes and drop shadows and heavy drop shadows, I think they're a little bit distracting from the work. I would reconsider that super busy background in maybe considering something else for the background. I think it looks really clean on white. But again, it's your call here. I just want to offer my suggestions. Okay, so there we have it. So I would work towards that end goal. Consistency right now, I think, is the main thing I'm seeing as an issue. Otherwise, everything else is looking fantastic. Good execution. Let's just shoot for a higher degree of consistency. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. But I would start working towards that end. Don't forget, we're due next week here. We're moving into week 7, so we're coming right on top of things. So time is of the essence. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks, Elizabeth.